I got to ask you about Charles in Red Dead 2. We haven't really discussed that role.
Mm.
You said you were nervous about the reception. How the hell could you be nervous about that performance? And I mean, surely, man, the confidence has grown over the years for you with banger after banger of performance. I mean, surely now you're confident enough to go, okay, Jubei's going to be well received. I've done a good
No,
job.
no,
No.
definitely not. Um, well, and also like it's funny because I get nervous about it because they're like, I've spent enough time with these characters that they've become like dear friends of mine. You know what I mean? And of course, I don't want people shitting all over them unless it's like Vice Admiral Rampart, in which case you should shit all over them, and that's like that means I've
That's a
done my
nasty
job.
guy. Yeah,
You
that's
know?
the one. Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I love them each for different wonderful reasons, but
Yeah.
it's also as much as I get nervous about it, the truth of the matter is like it's not my business what anyone feels about my characters, right? That's totally up to them. I don't know, probably the ego in me as an actor wants people to like the characters that I play, like because they mean a lot to me, so I hope they mean a lot to you. But if I really sit down and think about it, like and the art that we're doing, like that's not my job.
Mm.
I try to leave a project feeling like I've fought for my character as hard as I can, and that I've told the story I came to tell the best I could, and in most cases that I've supported my lead actor, that I've supported the lead character of this story the best I can with whatever I'm supposed to be doing in this story, however I'm supposed to be influencing their journey. Um, but it's hard, you never know how things are going to go, and I think with Charles especially, I mean when I was originally invited to audition for Charles, I was like, no, I'm not Native American. I can't. No, absolutely not. Um, and then I think they asked again, and my agent was like, "Look, they've already recast this role like multiple times,
Wow.
and they're no like they went through Native American and then black actors, and like the last couple actors they had were of various ethnicities that were not Charles's actual ethnicity. So they are deliberately opening up the casting pool. And I was like, oh man. Okay. And so I went in and did it. And like, I thought I was auditioning for like LA Noir 2. Because I think in
How
the audition,
funny.
yeah, because I think in the audition I was like loading barrels of liquor into like a truck or something. Like,
Mm.
like, and I was like, oh, this is like Prohibition era or something. Like, what? Like, I don't know what's going on here. And they didn't even tell me when I got to set. Uh, no one would tell me what the hell I was working on. And then
Wow.
Rob Weedoff comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, has anyone told you what you're working on yet?" And I was like, "Well, I know now. Holy shit!"
Uh,
Um,
oh, he's a legend.
he's and like one of the sweetest guys.
Yeah, he
Um,
is.
I think like I'd made some decisions with who I thought Charles was. And I wasn't sure how they'd resonate. You know what I mean? Like he's always an outsider, no matter where he goes. He doesn't belong. No matter how desperately he wants to, and no matter how hard he tries to, and he contributes and stuff, but never feels like he's been really become a part of that crew, right? Um, and I think a lot of that came from my own personal experience being multiracial myself. But I don't know. I think it's also like when you're on a stage with Roger Clark and Rob Weedoff and I mean like the work that Peter Blomquist does as Micah is sublime. He is that man is bananas. Like that man is
He's pretty funny too.
Oh, well, and that's the thing. Like, you'd be in the green room, we'd all be like talking and stuff and having fun. And he's always saying either something incredibly sweet or incredibly just like, what the hell did you just say? And everyone's laughing and stuff. And like,
Yeah.
we all got our boots on and stuff. And then we'd be called and like people would start strapping on their gun belts and stuff. And there's like the green room, and then you cross this hallway and you're like in this threshold, and then you're inside the volume where the actual recording happens.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've said this before, but like, I swear, like, I would walk in sometimes and I'd happen to be walking right next to Peter, and like, I'd feel the temperature of the room drop as he like embodied Micah Bell. You know what I mean? Like, you could just feel this, you could feel him become nasty. Um,
That's a
it,
kind of that feels uncomfortable, sort of.
oh no, it was, but like in a
Yeah.
wonderful way. Like,
Yeah,
he's
in a good
just
way.
that
Yeah.
good. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I don't know how he does that. It was crazy. And this is, I'll just say this because I thought this was wild too. I don't, from what I understand, like I haven't played it, but Steve Palmer's character, Bill, by some people kind of not taken too terribly seriously. There was a scene we shot. It must have been like halfway through the shoot
Mm.
or more, where it was I think it was a pickup of us like all in wagons like riding through the snow, which so it must have been from the beginning. And Bill Charles is driving the is in the wagon directly behind Bill's, and Bill's horse like collapses from the cold. And Steve jumped out of the wagon and with like a horrifying fury started beating this dying horse. Like, just so just enraged that this animal was failing him. You know what I mean? Um, and I'm so glad that moment happened because it locked in for me just how scary Bill Williamson could be in a way that I think as Charles I never would have appreciated before then. Like, Steve is awesome and clearly handles himself, but like, I had never seen that rage
Oh.
from Bill before, and I was like, oh, I mean, he's an enforcer, Like, you get him wild and crazy enough, and he'll murder anybody. And like, he's like a juggernaut, and like, and I mean, his avatar is like he's this like barrel of a man. Um, but that was a moment where I was like, note to self, don't ever make Steve angry. Like, he scared the shit out of me that day. Like, it was deeply disquieting. You know what I mean? And once again, one of the sweetest guys you'll ever meet. And like, to talk to him, you would never in 100 years think he had that in him. It's very much like Peter, but
So
man,
is it hard to play a character that doesn't feel like they fit in anywhere? But I'm guessing you felt like you fit in with the cast, right? Because it feels like it was a family, but maybe that's just the camaraderie you guys have had over the years coming through now.
I mean, I never feel like I fit in anywhere. Like, that's just part of who I am, I think, by nature. And that was definitely a part of me that in Charles I pushed forward.
Yeah.
Um, that desire to belong, but never being enough.
Mhm.
In Charles' example, never being Native American enough, never being black enough. Um, like, I love that crew, and like, I consider them dear friends, and like, Rob and I were texting just a day or two ago, and Roger will call me in the middle of nowhere and we'll just talk for a bit. It's great. Like, I love spending time with them. Um, but it's interesting, and I don't know if this is because parts of Charles stay with me even when I'm kind of hanging with them as Noshir or what, but like, I'm always a little bit on the outside. You know what I mean? And not in a bad way. I just not, no one ever like no one is ever discluding me. If anything, I find myself kind of taking a small step back probably. But yeah, it's interesting. My characters are almost always in some way shining a light on some part of me that is like, that's why. Why is that? You know, why is that something you do? Um,
That's fascinating, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's been interesting. I mean, Charles taught me a lot. Like to this day, there's definitely moments where I'll be faced with a challenge and like there is the easy way or the comfortable way, and then there's the right way. And Charles is often the voice that encourages me to do it the right way. So I love that dude. Um, but yeah, I think in a cast of such incredible, dynamic, brilliant actors, I really didn't know how Charles would do. You know what I mean? He's steadfast and he's committed, but like he doesn't usually make waves. He's like he sits back, he watches, and if something happens, you'll see Charles go into action. And when Charles moves, like it is on. But it's not like he's a firecracker just like going off and going crazy all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so I wasn't sure what to think, and I think especially because I was fortunate enough to spend so much time with Roger and Rob on the stage. They're legendary. You know what I mean? It's it's humbling to share a space with them, and like they're amazing, crazy talented, wonderful people, crazy gifted actors. And you're just like, this is what legends are made of. It's
But
wild.
it must be interesting because they're so different as performers and characters. No?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's funny, like in social circles, like when we're, as just people, it is funny how we as individuals oftentimes kind of seem to fit certain niches that very much resemble the gang. Um, it's interesting. I don't know why
Yeah.
that is. And I think part of it is like, as an actor, part of your job is to bring some honesty, some sincerity from yourself to your characters, right? So, um, even if we are not in fact outlaws, there is some part of us that maybe for the good of society we tend to keep in check. That comes out in those characters, but it's there. It doesn't like come from nothing. Um, it's living somewhere. It's living somewhere, under Roger Clark. It's living somewhere beneath Rob Wiedoff's skin. I do believe that.